What's going on, everyone? Welcome into this week's edition of the Mast Podcast. I'm your host, Dalton Pence. I serve as the territory sales manager for all of Kentucky, the majority of Indiana, and Southern Ohio. Joining me for back-to-back episodes, National Director of Sales from the Outdoor Plus, Chuck Nitschke. Chuck, welcome back into the show.
Thank you, Dalton. A double header. I love it. This is great.
Heck yeah, doubleheader for sure. If you don't remember, if you need to go back and watch it, I would definitely recommend doing so. Chuck and I had a great episode talking about incorporating fire and water features into your packages to kind of drive additional revenue and encompass the entire backyard, because fire and water features are becoming more and more prevalent, just like grills and outdoor kitchens are becoming more and more prevalent. But like I said, if you didn't listen to the last one, you're not going to know much about Chuck. So I'm going to give Chuck the floor a little bit to tell us a little bit about how he got to where he was with the Outdoor Plus and what the Outdoor Plus even is.
Yeah, no, that would be great. So a little bit about my background is I've got about 10 years worth of experience in the hearth industry. I worked for one of the major e-commerce channels that are out there. And during that time, I became a master hearth professional, fully licensed, and spent 10 years of my life working with pool builders and home builders and landscapers and designers, working on projects that incorporate fire, also grills as well. And during that time, really honed that craft and understanding and built a passion for fire ultimately. And so throughout that time, cultivated some relationships, and an opportunity came to be a part of the Outdoor Plus team here. The Outdoor Plus, we are the nation's number one manufacturer of fire and fire water features, located right here in the USA. Every single thing that we produce comes out of America. So we love the stars and stripes, and we're very proud to tout that we are 100% USA made. So throughout that time, the Outdoor Plus, our owner has a big, a background in engineering some of the top line grills in the market today. The people are very familiar with their brands. And so he comes into the grilling industry with a plethora of knowledge of grills. And throughout the last couple of years, we've built a brand called Videl barbecues, which is our new grilling side of the Outdoor Plus as well. And we're having a lot of fun with that. But that's a little story of me and the company and what leads us here with you, Dalton.
Yeah, I'm glad you explained the connection with Videl, because they're like, okay, yeah, he reps, or he's with the Outdoor Plus, and that's fire and water. But where do the grills kind of come into play? And the Outdoor Plus has an owner that has that background with grilling. So I think that's really key, because that expertise is there, and developing that rapport with that. So kind of talk me through kind of what you did last episode for a pool dealer out there, whether it is a mom and pop business that has been doing work for 40, 50 years, or it's a new pool business that's just still focused on putting the pool in and some concrete around for hardscapes. For a company that doesn't really have that broad of a scope on the entire backyard, incorporating grills when you might not necessarily know much about them kind of still seems a little bit overwhelming.
No, absolutely, it can. And so I think if you aren't offering them yet to your clients, I think it's a very easy way to generate revenue for the company. I think kind of backing it up a little bit is, I think COVID changed everything.
Yeah.
Pools were great to have in your backyard, but what happened is when everybody was entertaining outside, it's become kind of a mainstay now that if I'm going to be investing $150,000 in my backyard project, I want to entertain. Right. Not just swim and then go inside, but that's where you're able to really start adding outdoor entertaining as a whole for a pool builder is a great way to generate revenue. We talked in the last episode about being able to add fire and fire water bowls on the corner of your pool, or you've got 20-inch flames and water cascading down into the pool, or you can have a sitting area with the TV where, it's great to have the TV, but it makes it even better when there's some fire next to it, right? So you take that to the step 3 now, which is the outdoor grilling, right? So what's become very popular right now is as you're doing these pool layouts, people are adding these outdoor kitchens. Now, how you accomplish that, how you build that, what selections you make, I think is where people get a little bit overwhelmed because there's a lot of marketing material out there. Everybody is touting theirs is the best. And it can get really tricky to find out, hey, and I said this on the last podcast too, but like, how do I do this? And what are my options? I think is, again, the two things that we go back to is the how and the what.
So when you're looking to either offer a line or, devise a package that a customer has maybe described, what aspects of the grills, whether it is the functionality, whether it is the composition, the materials it's made out of, like what needs to be the most important and prioritize the most if you're looking to sell a line of grills?
No, that's great. So as far as what makes the grills different, is that kind of what you're asking?
Yeah, I mean, is there an aspect that people should look at more? Like, I mean, is it more so like which grills are going to do the most? Which grills are going to be the most versatile? I mean, is it, structural integrity? Is it a mixture of everything, if that makes sense?
Yeah. So I think if I'm going to, when I'm investing in a grill, there's three main areas of it that I think are really going to speak to the quality. I see the grill as a long-term investment. Sure. And I want to protect my investment. When you look at the grilling industry as a whole, it really kind of breaks down to price points. There's kind of your box store grills, which you're going to be replacing every year, every 2 years. Then they start getting into this $1,000 to $1,500 range. Then it goes up from the $1,500 to the $3,500, then $35 up to $12, $15,000, right? So,
right.
When I'm looking to do it, the first thing I'm going to look at is the quality of the material, right? A lot of grills will say stainless steel, but really what it is, it's a 443 stainless, which means it's eventually going to still rust. 304 stainless is really what you're wanting. It's a thicker gauge. It's not going to corrode. It's not going to rust. Now, if you are in a salty air environment, you're going to want to make sure you're wiping that down with some cleaner. But really, if I'm going to be getting a grill, I want it to be full 304 stainless all the way through. That's be the good quality. The burner quality is also going to be important too. That's a fail point for a lot of grills is you've got these burners with tubes with holes in it. It's a very thin gauge metal. And when it's subject to that much heat, it's going to start to deteriorate, thin out, flake, and then break. You're going to need to replace your burners. So if I'm looking at a burner, typically I'm going to want a cast stainless steel burner. Those will last. They have a lifetime warranty. Odds are you're never going to need to replace it. So the quality of the burner, then also the ignition system, that's something that separates the grills as well. Some of them have something which is called a piezo ignition, which means I press a button and it goes click, and there's just a spark on the inside, click, click. Mm-hmm. Continuous spark where there's a battery, which makes it go tick, 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 up to the higher end, which is going to be a little bit more of a flamethrower ignition, which means the grill is going to light every time. It sends actually a blast of fire down the side of the burner. So it makes sure that it lights. It's not just a little arc, a little spark there for you. So the quality of the material, the housing, the burner quality, and then the ignition system are three things that really set the grills apart.
Mm-hmm. I think one aspect is that, at least when I was younger, I remember just, the old charcoal grills that, the uncle brings out at least my uncle would really barbecue. He would barbecue. I mean, feels like anything. I mean, hot dogs, hamburgers, is that I just, when I go back to my childhood, that's what I remember is that old small grill that you lift the top off, put some charcoal in there, light it. And it just brings back a lot of memories. But now here we are in 2025 and it feels like the aesthetics matter now. Yeah. More and more they matter. And we're seeing that evident with, islands and outdoor kitchens. And I know that that's something that Videl offers. But just from an industry standpoint, it feels like it's just, again, you're incorporating the entire backyard towards not just the pool now. Right. It's the furniture, it's the landscaping, it's the lawn. And now it's the grilling system. And now, can you kind of speak to the rising popularity of, islands and outdoor kitchens?
Yeah, I think, again, COVID really launched that again. these last couple of years because people are looking at their backyard for entertaining, right? So
Right.
I'm going to have guests over. We're going to have a pool party. Dad wants to be over there grilling on that grill and preparing some hot dogs and some burgers or, today we also have pizza ovens. Dalton, have you cooked on a pizza oven yet?
I have not. To be honest, let me preface this by saying I'm not a huge, I like pizza. I really won't turn down pizza, but very rarely do I say, you know what, I'm going to go grab some pizza. But even then, that sparks me where I've never been around a pizza oven to where I've had the opportunity to do so.
It's fun. Yeah. So, just imagine you got your backyard, right? You've got some family friends over. The kids are in the pool. You come out with all your pizza dough, your crust that's all laid out.
Right.
Sauce in a bowl. You've got different types of cheeses. You've got your pepperoni, your sausage, your whatever you want for your toppings. And the kids get to all come, and they all come and make their own pizza. You throw it in this pizza oven. You cook it. You get this beautiful golden crust. It's crispy, but there's nothing better than making your own pizza. It's just so much fun. And again, it goes back to entertaining, right? Your guests come over and there's just a lot you can do with an island to really help entertain your guests. But people want to sit around. They want to enjoy. They want to have dinner. All right. So you'll have this dining table outside. TVs are a big thing in the backyard as well. And so it's all about just being able to have guests that you can sit and grill outdoors, and especially with the pool, right? I don't want to pool getting all wet and then tracking all that water in the house, right? So to have your own outdoor kitchen next to the pool where you can just get out, you can be as wet as you want. It's not going to matter. And you can entertain with your guests. It's great.
Heck yeah. I love to hear that. And I'm going to have to at least have one experience with the pizza oven just because, I've got to try it out,
It's good.
I've got to try it out. But
in the industry, you've got wood burning pizza ovens and you've got gas pizza ovens. You've got two different things out there. The wood burning pizza ovens, they have a little bit of that smoky smell, which I really love, but it's a little bit more labor intensive, right?
Yeah.
You've got to let it warm up for a long time before it gets up to temperature. You always got to make sure you've got your fuel, your wood available to it. On the other side, you've got some that are just gas driven. So you just turn on the burner, let it heat up for 15 minutes. And it's great. So as in the industry, there's a couple different options, a couple different ways to do it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good time.
Well, you're also starting to see griddles become much more popular because everybody, I think it's more versatile.
It is.
You can do more stuff with griddles. You can hibachi. Mm-hmm. You can go hibachi style. You can do regular grilling. I think that, versatility, just in our industry, versatility is an aspect that has sort of become a luxury.
Sure. Absolutely. And I think people love being able to even just go out and have breakfast, right? I can do my scrambled eggs, my bacon, my sausage, my hash browns, so it takes grilling from just dinner time to breakfast time as well. Right. So yeah, there's a couple different styles of griddles that are out there as well. You've got some that are a little bit more cast iron, and you've got your higher end 304 stainless steel, but griddles are good. Hey, have you ever cooked in an Argentinian grill?
I have not. Is that the brasa?
The brasa, yeah.
That's where I was going with next because it looks like it's like the rotisserie kind of style. You can raise it up and down, and I was going to ask about that, and I was also going to ask about the cooking tables.
Yes,
there's so many wild different things you can do here, Chuck. I'm hungry now, but I'm still overwhelmed. Overwhelmed but hungry.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. No, I just came back from an event in Colorado, in Beaver Creek. It's called the Blues, Brews, and Barbecues. And they have some of the nation's best pit masters that were there.
Oh, yeah.
And we brought one of our brasas with us. So Argentinian grilling, for anybody that isn't familiar with it, is you're going to have an area where you're going to put your charcoal chunks. You can put wood. You're going to light it up, and that's going to be your fuel source. And there's one large cooking grate above it. So you can put your chicken, or we had bison on it. We did some trout. We did a bunch of different styles of food. And you're going to adjust your heat by raising and lowering that cooking surface. If I want more heat, I bring it closer to the wood. If I want less heat, I raise it up off of the wood a little bit. But what happens is that wood, that smoky flavor from the wood, just with the meat. It was so much fun. We had a blast. So, I found that once you've done some Argentinian-style grilling, you want to keep doing it. So that's been a fun addition to the Videl line as well.
I guess the first question I have is, why wasn't I invited to this event, man? I guess I should have eaten before this podcast, because I'm like, dude, I'd love to fire up a grill right now and put something on. And what's your go-to grilling, Chuck? If I said, you know what, you've got to prepare a meal for the people listening. Now who knows how many people are listening, but let's put the numbers off to the side. What would you prepare?
For all millions of them. Well, you know what? I'll just keep it simple, and it's not, I'll tell you what, I live in Michigan. So for half the year, it's gray, overcast, gloomy. You get it. So when it is summertime and you give me a good burger, you give me a good brat, good hot dog, some corn on the cob, just
can't go wrong with any of that.
It's traditional. But otherwise, I like throwing a good filet on this.
Okay.
So the secret to filet is you got to get a sear burner. That's the secret.
Okay.
So with a lot of the grills, like even with ours, it's going to come with the casting, the steel burner. You remove the cotter pin, you take off the first burner, and you drop in the sear burner. That gets really hot. So what you do is you take your filet, you put it over that sear burner for about a minute and a half. On full throttle. So it's like 900 degrees. I then flip the steak over. And what that does is it creates like a crust on those two sides and it locks all the juice in.
Is this the Food Network, or are we talking about
right?
Hey man, I'm good with you can't talk grills without talking food, man. They go hand in hand here. But again, like we did last episode, I want to incorporate a mailbag question into the mix to kind of keep you on your toes. I didn't tell Chuck what that mailbag question was going to be before I ended up starting this, but unfortunately, it's going to be pretty much the same. What's the main mistake that either dealers or homeowners make when it comes down to, bringing in a certain type of grill?
Man, that is an open-ended question that I think
you interpret it any way that you'd like. That I like open-ended because there's no telling where you could take it, and there's no saying that it's right or wrong.
So on the residential side,
yep.
I would probably say, I don't know. That is a tough one. The major mistake I would say is probably going cheap.
Okay.
You get what you get when it comes to grills, right? The less expensive a grill is typically means the parts that they've used to manufacture the grill are low quality. So I think finding that mid-range grill that will last a long time, that'll function well, you're not having a ton of warranty issues with it, things not operating correctly. So I think a lot of people when they do these, they'll kind of go cheap, thinking that it's better, but I would say invest a little bit more in the grill. You'll be happy with it. On the commercial side, though, I will say if you're doing homeowner association, condo association, hotel, apartment complex, the biggest mistake that they do in those is they'll put a residential style grill into an amenity space. And what inevitably will happen is somebody in that apartment complex or somebody in that hotel will come out with their food. They'll grill. They'll get done, put their food on the plate.
And they're going to leave that grill on, huh?
Okay. Right. So at Videl, we do have a commercial grill, I think, which is really important that people realize. It should be on every single commercial job site that there is. We actually have a timer built into the front of the grill. And that gas line connects to that timer first before it goes to the burners. Sure. Meaning that the person at the apartment complex has to turn on the timer before they can operate the grill. That same scenario, they walk away and within an hour, that grill shuts itself off. So it protects all of our property management people from liability, from lawsuits.
Sure.
So that's a big mistake people make in the.
Before we get out of here, Chuck, last question I have is tell me a little bit about Videl grills. What are some of the main separators from some other manufacturers? Yeah,
and also the big thing there is the options. At Videl, it's going to have a really full, it's very robust grilling line. So we do have our residential 36-inch and 42-inch style grills. Those are going to be full 304 stainless steel, cast stainless steel burners, flamethrower ignition. It's all very, very much top of the line. We have one of the first and the only commercial grills on the industry, which I just spoke of just a second ago. We have a timer. So again, if you're doing an apartment complex or a condo, I would install that every time. We also have the Argentinian-style grill we talked about called the brasa, where if you really wanted to go unique grilling style, there's that. You alluded to earlier on the Alameda. That's going to be a dining table where instead of just having a fire pit burner on the inside, we actually have a barbecue grill on the top of the that is built into the table. So everybody sits around this dining table and they can cook their own burgers or brats or hot dogs or steak or chicken. And so it's really bringing that community of people together to grill at the same time. We've got our pizza ovens, our griddles, our side burners, our power burners. We have a food warmer. I love it. It's awesome. So to keep the flies and keep your meat warm after you get done grilling, so ingenious. We've got our doors, our drawers. The full collection of what we offer is really, really full. We also do 3 different styles of actual islands themselves. So the structure. So we have one if you're a landscaper and you want to put a barbecue island up on top of a deck, and that deck has been properly supported, of course. This thing shows up in a FedEx box. You can assemble a 10-foot island in about 4 or 5 minutes. The way that it's built, you put your own hardy board on it, whatever stone or tile that you want to put on the face of it. It allows you to kind of bring the full project together by using the stone that you've used over there onto the island. So that's our KD, our Knockdown Signature Series. We've got a full completed island that we make out of powder coat steel that if you want to do an L shape or a U shape, bar back, if you want to do backsplash, we have fully customized islands that we can do. We could put speakers in it. If you want to put company logos in it, we'll do all of it in-house. Everything is California. We have these cooking grates, which is something great too. So if I'm doing a commercial project, I can actually put the company logo on the cooking grate and actually laser cut it out. So just adding a little bit of additional, or if I want to put Mr. Dalton on the cooking grates, when you make your steak, it says Dalton's name on there. Like we can do. And then we also have one that's called our Pacific Series, which is going to be a composite decking as well. So, so with the islands there, we've got a lot of different options as far as, how we're going to be able to deliver those for you too. So there's a lot for everybody.
A lot of good stuff going on at Videl. That's Chuck Nitschke, National Director of Sales with Outdoor Plus and Videl Grills, of course. But unfortunately, I'm not sure that we're going to have a back-to-back episode with Chuck unless it's just going to be about what's the best food to put on the grill.
I know.
But that is going to wrap up this week's edition of the Mast Podcast. Everyone have a great day. Don't forget, a rising tide raises all ships in the pool industry and the outdoor living industry. We'll see you back here next week.
Thanks, guys.